Hello, today we'll learn about application of our second primary trigonometric ratio, which is cosine ratio. So cosine ratio. Cosine ratio, we've already learned about sine ratio in the previous lesson. In order to remember that what the cosine ratio is equal to, we remember it by this CAH. So C stands for cosine. Cosine theta. Theta is a Greek letter for unknown angle. A stands for adjacent. 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 Or H stands for hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Okay, so adjacent or hypotenuse. As I said, primary trigonometric ratios are only applicable in right triangles. So I'm going to draw a right triangle, and a right triangle is that triangle in which one angle is equal to 90 degrees, and this little box usually tells us this is a 90 degrees angle. So the longer side is the hypotenuse. Longer side is the hypotenuse. Let me erase this and write it nicely. This is the hypotenuse. So in cosine we are using adjacent and hypotenuse. So if this is angle A, and let's say if this angle is given, and let's say this is equal to 25 degrees. So this is our opposite side length, and this is the adjacent side length. So we'll only be using adjacent and hypotenuse in case of cosine ratio. So if the angle is given and the adjacent side length is given, let's say adjacent side length is equal to 26 centimeter, and we are asked to find hypotenuse. So we will only use cosine ratio because we are working with adjacent and hypotenuse. Okay, so in order to find hypotenuse, I will replace some numbers into the formula. So we'll say cosine. I'm not going to write theta because we have an angle A. I will replace that theta with 25 degrees. So this is 25 actually. Let me write it nicely. This is 25 degrees. So cosine 25 degrees equals adjacent is 26 centimeter, and we're going to divide it by hypotenuse, which is unknown. So that means it's x. I will just write 1 here. We're going to cross multiply. So I will multiply cosine 25 degrees with x, and I will also multiply 26 times 1, which is 26 centimeters. I will divide both sides by cosine 25. Cosine 25 degrees, cosine 25 degrees, because we want to get rid of that cosine 25 and we want to isolate x, so it will just cancel out. X, we'll say 26 centimeter divided by cosine 25 is, you're going to punch in cosine on your calculator and then punch in 25. Make sure your calculator is in degrees mode. The numbers that I got is 0.90, 0.9063. So what I got, and now I will divide 26 divided by 0.9063, and our answer will be, it is 28.68, 28.6. I will just round it up. So in this case the answer is 28.69 centimeter. Always pay attention to your answer. If the question says round your answer to the nearest unit. In that case, the answer will be 29. And if they say, if the question is round your answer to one decimal place, then it will be 28.7. But in this case, there are no restrictions, so I just use 2 decimal points. Okay. So in this case, adjacent was given. We'll do another example in which hypotenuse is given. And okay, I've got a right triangle. This is my right triangle. That's the 90 degrees angle, and in this case the hypotenuse is given, and let's say it is equal to let's say 29 centimeter, and angle A is given as 15 degrees. 1 second, the angle A is 15 degrees. So this is the opposite side length, and adjacent is, let's say adjacent is given as, we are asked to find it. So this is what the task is. It's a question mark because we're asked to find adjacent. So what I'm going to do is I'll plug in the numbers into formula. I have cosine 15 degrees equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Say adjacent is x and hypotenuse is 29 centimeters. I'll just write 1 there. I'll times x and 1 is cross multiplication, we'll get x, and now I'll times cosine 15 degrees with 29 centimeter. So cosine 15 degrees, cosine 15 degrees is 0.965, and we'll times it with 29 centimeters. Our answer will be 28.01 centimeters. So this will be our answer for hypotenuse. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll do another example and we'll try to find an angle using adjacent and hypotenuse. So this is my right triangle. Now if you're asked to use a cosine ratio, and if you're asked to find the angle, then adjacent and hypotenuse should be given always. So let's say adjacent is equal to 14 centimeter, and hypotenuse is 36 centimeter, and we are asked to find angle A. So I'll just label the side length. This is the opposite side length, and this is the hypotenuse, and this is the adjacent. So we'll say this time, we'll say sine, let's say A equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent will go at the top, and we'll do 14 centimeter divided by 36 centimeter. 14 divided by 36 will be 0.388. So I will leave A on the left side because that's the missing angle. We'll move sine to the right. I will take the inverse of sine, 0.388. We'll use the calculator. You'll use the calculator to find the angle. So see second function sine. I'll punch in the number 0.388, and I'll get 22.8 degrees. I'll just round it up to 23 degrees. So this angle is 23 degrees. Okay, so there are some calculators in which you have to punch in the number first and then you punch in sine. Just make sure the kind of calculator you have, just do the strategy that you should be using for those calculators. Just a recap. So what we did today is we tried to learn about the application of cosine ratio, And we remember this by Ka, which is cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So in this example, angle A is given as 25 degrees. Adjacent side length is given as 26. We were asked to find hypotenuse. We just plug in the numbers and we just cross multiplied, and we got the answer as 28.69. So in the other example, hypotenuse was given and we were asked to find the adjacent side length. We just plugged in the numbers and got the answer, and this is for the angle. Okay, thank you very much and keep